As you can see, this is the actual job done by Hurley's, what it really looks like, even though there's green grass under there that's totally covered with sawdust. Sawdust everywhere, not even one attempt to remove it like on the lovely website picture. And they never used this part of my yard like the other tree service that first trimmed the tree did. There's a whole big piece of my yard here that's as wide as the garage over there. Let's call that about 30 feet at least, where they could have put the tree down instead of in my neighbor's backyard over there is where they put the whole thing down, which we'll check that out. And when I asked them to use the other side of my house for their bobcat to go out to the street, he said there wasn't enough room. Now again, let's call from my house to that tree, let's see how many bobcats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bobcats could ride back and forth in there and probably not even run into each other. That's a good 20, 30, 40 feet right there, where they could have just moved their tree stuff just like that out to their car like that and put it in their dumpster, which is what they didn't do, even though I requested it. Instead, this is what they did here. That's where they put their truck out, is on that street. They first started dropping their trees from their bucket up there over here onto this tree, dropping their stuff from the tree till I yelled out my window, "Don't kill that tree." "Oh, we're not gonna kill it." And they're up there in their bucket and they're dropping their branches from the tree they're taking down onto this tree that I've been working for 13 years, to get to grow where it's finally now starting to grow straight up. It's like a willow tree. And if I hadn't have yelled out there, you see a bunch, and then they're like, "Oh, we'll saw it off here." Sure. Oh, sorry about that. And then, like I said, they got their truck parked out there. And instead of using the 30 feet of property on the other side of my house, they're going on the neighbor's property. Whoa, I just slipped there and slided. And they're digging this trench, back and forth, back and forth. And I said, that's my neighbor's property. If he was home, he'd be pretty pissed. He's at work. I had an order that said if I interfered with him all, it would be a misdemeanor. When someone's hired by the city to remove a Dutch elm tree disease. So no, do they go that way and drop any of the tree over there in my yard? The clothesline wasn't even up, by the way. You can tell is the way the clothesline goes across the stump. That wasn't there to impede them. I put that up after. They snapped it, at the beginning. So they had all that room in my yard to drop their tree stuff into with nothing in their way at all. And instead they dropped it right there into the neighbor's yard, brush after brush after brush onto their property. And then we're too lazy to drag it by hand. We're not talking the big chunks. The big chunks they dropped right there, and then they rolled, through there, instead of, again, going up around the corner. If you want to look at it this way, that's enough room for 4 bobcats right there, just to take that corner and go up there. Or maybe even use their driveway if no one was there. But I wouldn't want them to do that. Just go straight up there in my yard. They had a ditch witch dig a cable, fiber optic cable, all the way from here. And they went through there, and they went all the way back up into there. And that's all they did. They didn't do any of this. Look at this guy. Branches just laying here, not cleaned up. There's what used to be patio bricks over there is now a pile of this, I don't know, how the rubble sticks or whatever, because that's where they were dropping everything from up above is onto the neighbor's property. And them same patio bricks, I can't go on my neighbor's property, but I can zoom in there. Them same patio bricks are over here. And you just can't see that yet because it's not spring and stuff like that. He hasn't seen it yet. Just showed his wife today. He's going to be pretty furious. Just for no reason whatsoever going on the neighbor's property and gouging it out. And you see the picture on their webpage. Alright, now we're going to talk about my 4x4s here that he used with his Bobcat. It's got like a claw thing on it. It's not a shovel thing. And he completely... I'm going to have to jump down into the trench here. It's just this jagged, what used to be just smooth grass is now this jagged like 2-foot trench in between, technically on my neighbor's property right now, but who gives a flying? And it's just, these mounds of dirt coming like up a foot out of the ground, just pieces of sticks everywhere in my yard over there, and then they trailed their Bobcat over there, across the street over there. You can still see the tractor marks. And then to top it off, he makes some lame attempt with his Bobcat, and he goes up way over here in my yard. I got a huge ass yard. Way past this, look, there's a stick he dropped down there. For no reason, he's way over here, and he scoops up an 8 by 5 by 8 by 10 by whatever feet of my yard. He takes the turf right off it. What's that called? Sod? And what's this guy said? Are you a landscaper? He's like, no. And he's over here digging in my yard over here. See, there's the other front entrance where he could have came over here. And the tree's way over there on the other side of my garage. And so he's going all the way over here in my yard, and he's digging up my grass, my sod. He's just digging it up, and he's putting it in his Bobcat, okay? And you can see the tracks, and he's driving it down here. What are you, a landscaper? This is Hurley's tree removal service. Hurley's, Hurleys, like I'm about to hurl from the sickness of the job this person did. So he takes my side in his Bobcat from my yard way up there. I've just walked about 75 feet. Right now I'm way back at the thing in my yard where he goes off in his Bobcat. You can tell by the school bus and the sign, my yard is way up there. And he's like, oh, here's a good place. Doesn't know I'm watching from the window and I got a video camera going. And he's like, we'll just take this sod here and we'll take it down. We'll try. It was a fail. But he's like, we'll just take, some of that sod and we'll try and slap it down here. Okay? So that's when, and there's just big chunks of it there you can see. It's just, what was just an easy mow between me and the neighbor right there. Just flat as the rest of it can be. Is now this trench of it looked like an earthquake happened here. And that's a big, you know what I'm saying? That's just this big mud puddle trench thing. And I'm having trouble even standing in it and stuff. Or getting up on the corner of this because, and there's the normal yard there, and then he just left this pile here of my garden, where to top it off right here on the corner here, which is you can't even tell anymore, this is a constructed 4x4 wood pieces, not the railroad types, not that big, but it was constructed here, okay, and it ran along here, and he took it with his backhoe and the teeth of the backhoe, and he just destroyed it so that he could go across it with his Bobcat. I'm saying backhoe, but I mean he used the Bobcat to grab it. It has teeth on it instead of a shovel. It's like a claw thing. It goes like that, you know, it picks up the trees with it and stuff. But first he has to destroy this because it's in his way. Okay? And yeah, I'm taking this guy to court. He's got to destroy the woodwork there. I used to sit right there in the corner, and I had a huge, I was going to come back, a huge, what is my video? Am I crying? What are those flowers? Bleeding hearts. I had a bush of bleeding hearts here. All my ferns were blooming along my garage right there. And then I had bleeding hearts right here, right on the corner there, that you can't even see it anymore because he's taken all the, you know, all the wood and destroyed it with this bobcat. And this corner would have sat, you know, Jesus Christ, this guy, what is going on? This would have sat 2 feet off the ground. This kind of stuff. And, you know, he just threw that wherever, right into the truck that he's loading all the other sticks and wood in, you know, and he didn't clean up any of the sawdust. And, you know, just keep thinking about that pretty stump page on his page. Okay? And then he hits my garage. And he cracks it open right here. See that? Cracks it open. So that's when I guess he thought he better start, you know, maybe tearing it more, going more towards the neighbor's yard. And, you know, maybe he's tore mine up enough. And damn, he's hitting the garage now. And he pulling out all the, you can see where he pulled out all the rebar. Okay. 1, 2, 3 pieces of rebar as he destroyed this corner piece of my garage here when I asked him to not even go over here and what are you doing on my neighbor's property. And I asked him to drop the stuff here and go the other way. And it was just a matter of parking his truck not over there. It was just a matter of parking his truck right there and going back and forth with the bobcat there, like I said, what the ditch witch did. So are you with me on this guy? Does anybody really want to use this guy for tree removal? Does it look anything like, with all the sawdust and on both sides of my garage full of it, you know, just sticks and twigs everywhere, sawdust. Haven't even seen how deep it is yet because it's, you know, it's packed in there with ice right now. And there's the same stump almost, style of stump that this joker has on his website about how your yard's gonna look when it's done. Just green grass, nothing but a stump. That's the quality work they claim that they do. Don't let them fool you, folks. There it is, live on the camera. A trench in yours and your neighbor's backyard. Upset tiles on the patio that I've seen them laying in there, all the way over to there. And the smashed in garage from the corner there, where it had cracked like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them, 6 of my boards there from hitting it with the bobcat while he was, for whatever reason, I mean, after you see the first piece of rebar and wood and stuff, don't you realize that's part of somebody's property, part of their wood? You know, it was obvious what it was. It's like, what, it's in your way because your bobcat, what's it going to tip over a little bit? So let's see how close we can get to the garage and just keep tearing this guy